Right, we're just going to have a quick curve up the back garden. This is my new allotment. I give the chairman's job up down the allotment side, then I give me plot up. And now I'm growing everything up the back garden. Gaffer give me permission to have all the land, so every bit of space I'm utilising. So we're going to have a perv round. Ending next year. As you can see, I've got 8-ounce onions growing in here, tough ball. Got shallots in the back end. But all these covers are coming off end of this year, and these. And next year I'll be growing gladioli in here, so the rain will wait for them. And all my fruit trees, which I'll show you, them are going in these as well. So it's my last year for veg. Loads of changes. You start down the bottom anyway. Astropage, because we've got a grandchild now, Rosie the dog, who was digging the lawn up. Let's have to have a turf now. Sun comes up over there, so in the morning, these have got sun for a couple of hours. Fruit trees, all these are going out in one of the raised beds next year. Raspberries, as you'll see them come through. First years in them. Everlasting kale. These are my raised beds as well, i.e. large pots. 6 half baskets. These got strawberries in. Yep, just see new growth on these, but I've got spares because these were put out in the last year. I should have kept them in the cold greenhouse, but they're just coming back. But all my fruit is late fruiting, same as these, ready for our show for Saturday in September, hopefully. Blackberries, I've got 2 in pots there. These are a late blackberry as well, and hopefully this year I'll just train all the way across the top. These here, there's only about a 2.5 inch gap. Nothing's ever grown there before. And one of these so set, but these are done brilliant this time. Self-setter sweet peas. It's the 2nd year with them. 2 more raised beds there, because if the sun was out now, it'd be over there. But these me Gladys. You got a time me Gladys for our show, so I'm planting now for the next 5 weeks. See the dates on, so I started the 13th to the 5th. I've got me velvet. What's this one? I've just put 5 more in there today. These are bought up rose. That's my blueberry. She bought up from the allotment, because these are late fruiting, sold in for our show as well. This is my new raised bed, out of sleepers, so it's going to last. I did fill this and he opened up again. As you can see, I've filled it again, but I can rub that down this week because they're away on holiday, because they put washing out every day, so they're not here. I can rub that down and wallop it again. But this took some filling, but it's got a good brew in it. These are scented, trailing petunias, so they will go over. This little chap, Gloriosa, you get them in like little tubers, but it's a beautiful flower. I've got one missing and one that end, luckily the 2. I've tied him on, but these are like a flame. Dark red with yellow tinges. Bougainvillea, these are the plants you get in Spain, but he's in a pot. Let's see if we can show you. Yeah. So I've just buried the pot, obviously, because he's got to go inside cold greenhouse over winter to look after him. But he was out last week. As you can see, we've had a couple of cold nights, and what they're going to do is just burn a couple of. But we shouldn't get any frost, but he'll pick up anyway. But it's a beautiful colour, love them. Livingston daisies, they will fill out, give me a nice bit of colour. These are noons as well. Corydalis, blue heron. Obviously, I'm still small at the moment, but then will come up. Dwarf marigold, tiger. Them are the old favourites. These two are from Wilco during the week. This is a dahlia called Pooh off my mate Scott. So obviously this is to hold him up when he comes up. So he's going to be one of the biggest plants. So he's right at the corner at the back. So when he's down there, we can perv everything. These I bought for the foting, whichever it is. That's just a variegated leaf, but they're nice colours. Got them in. And this is a Willa flamingo. Nice little chap, different. But you see he's been grafted, so he's nice and ideal at the back. That's why he's there. That was a peach that went not according to plan. What was that one? Bonanza. Might have to send him back. Don't look very well at all. Golden Express. Thank you very much. Delphiniums, love them. They should be out soon. You can see the bottom one here. But beautiful blue. I've just tied these around a couple of days ago. This is evergreen. But Keith Hines sent me that. He's a good lad. But just for a bit of, I mean it's evergreen and the dark purple leaves, but it's just something to fill the back of the fence. Hydrangea, we had him from Lidl last week. I lost the one that was in there. And you can see me Gladys, which I planted in the border last year. I'm coming back through again. I forgot I usually get them up. I forgot to get them up. Right, fruit trees. I've got 4 column fruit trees in there. These have been out how long? 3 months now. Utilising every bit of space, so I've got tubs in here. These are the gladioli. When you get your gladius up into the season, you know, little cormlets on the bottom, them are the babbies. It might take you 2 or 3 years to get a good sized corm out of them, but it's worth doing if you've got a good corm. So that's what I'm doing here. I've only got 1 compost bin now, but it's working, so I'm using it as a growing medium myself and as a top dressing for all my raised beds. I'll show you in the bin bit. Straight onto slabs. If it was onto the ground and we got moles, you shouldn't get moles in a garden like this on an housing estate, but if it was moles, exactly the same down my plot, there'd be chicken more on the bottom. Stop the mole getting in. 2 bits of carpet. You see the weather's warming up now. And then there's my babbies at work. Tiger worms, brandly worms, compost worms. But good brew. When I need some compost out, I'll just take the little door off on the front. If you keep them 2 carpets moist, you'll get worms between there. But I added some gump this morning, meaning I shook them worms back in there. Might as well get a quick perv on here while I'm here. If I needed compost out, I just take my door off, obviously, because the stuff at the bottom is ready. But my little babbies, my worms, I just throw them back in again. But I'll bung that on in a bit when we've finished feeding. Right, greenhouse, what we got left in here, not a lot. This year I'm also doing gladius that size. These two are a trial. Clover, what we use now, our trading sheds. I get pallets of clover now. It's a good multi-purpose compost. And while I was there organising it, it just had the alternative to peat, clover, and I had a bag of that $5.50, and it was full of crap. Most of the alternatives to peat are crap. Still doing trials on that, and my mates are doing them as well. Meaning, if you've got good compost, your own compost. That's clover, that's my compost. That's after 3 weeks, I've still got lumps in it. Meaning, if I was going to water him, if you water or feed, it's going to go straight through. There's nothing in there to hang on to anything. Because I've got lumps in my compost that hangs on to moisture, warmth and oxygen. I put 2 beans in, started off about the same length now. And I took a photo of this only about an hour ago. So there's the root structure in the clover compost. There's a root structure in my compost. Thicker, whiter roots. You'll still see the lumps in their compost there. If I can do it, government can do it in the councils. Some more cormlets. These was put in a couple of months ago. Strawberries, my spares. These are like fruiting, just in case them kick the bucket down the bottom. Them was for them. But if them do survive, these will be going in large pots so they overhang. Or I'll put half baskets on the wall again. Lee, my mate down South Wales, he gave me a heavy pepper seed, good lad. That was a curry one off Scott, good man. So these will have end of this, I'll have 3 grow bags in for my peppers. Them lot I put in yesterday, them are the late cormlets. So I've got Shalimar, Lady Helen, these are the small ones, and there's a good pink. I'm late putting them in, but they'll still come. Canna Durban, love these. Soon Dave give me them. They'll be busting later on. A few people got them bigger. I suppose I should have looked after them a bit better. Right, let's have a perv out there. Eating leeks, Musselborough. Just seed from Wilco. What the date on here? It's usually end of Feb. Yeah, 10th of the 2nd. So 10th of Feb, these was just so thinly. Cold greenhouse, don't need no heat. Exactly the same from the start, a spud off. Just put them in multi-purpose compost, cold greenhouse. And you know, well away. Exactly the same with carrots as well, but obviously a bigger bucket. Something like that, or a florist bucket. Multi-purpose compost mixed with vermiculite. I like using that with everything. And so thinly, and you can grow carrots all year round, cold greenhouse. Then for our bring a buy in June, Colligate Gardening Club. Went to see my mate. I did a talk down Plymouth during the week, and I nipped in Taunton. To John Murphy, mate, and he gave me a Cape Gooseberry. The compost king, he's a good lad. In fact, he gave me loads of bloody fruit. He sent me this earlier on, Josterberry. That's a blueberry, but it's a pink one. It comes out pink. These are late as well. That's a goji berry. John sent me that one as well. I've got freesias in here. These are scented. They'll be going out in the raised bed soon, or ish, whatever. Cherry tree. Let's have a perv in the tunnel. Off cuts as well, because all this used to be soil. But a good thing about this, if it's been piddling down, it dries within an hour. So the hound doesn't come back in muddy. It's nice and clean. It's my tunnel I made, so I'm still working from waist height. Same as all my raised beds up here. There's no bending, nothing you're going to think when you get old. So there's good brewing there. Onions I had from mate, Dave up Chesterfield. He gave me his spares. And these frames are ideal. You want to come in here, Ben? I can show you my gladdies and all. Because I've got to utilise the space. If you can see these labels in here. Like them I've already planted. I'm also planting gladioli. So I'm timing them. Because it's every couple of days which I'm planting the gladies out. Outside and inside. Obviously these are going to do better because they've got protection, more warmth. But I'm just going to see what they do and then time them ready for next year. If they are early, then I'll knock it back a week or something. So gladies, about 5 inches deep, and I use vermiculite to go on the bottom, which I've put in there. So that keeps the gladioli nice and clean. In fact, the gladdy, all you need is one shoot nearest to the middle. Any more, you just dig them out. With a tear to peel is a good thing, or if you've got a good nail, just scoop them out. You only want one. So the strongest one that's near the middle. And you can see the roots, I don't think you can make them yellow roots. They're just coming through. So he's telling you, plant me out. Well, he is as well. So I'll just firm him in and then cover back up again. Put him in, and then now he's been planted. And I shall give him a good watering once we've finished filming. So there's them two put in. And 2 more will go in a couple of days time. Them have got to go out because these are in the garage, all in these mushroom boxes. These are the small, the prims, but obviously they've got to go out because they're too bloody long. But I might put them in a pot or at the back here, but we'll see how we go. If you notice all my raised beds, I've got top dressed with straw. Well, it's chicken, rabbit muck, which is a bonus. So you've got the rabbit muck in there as well, but that keeps in the moisture and the warmth. Right, 2 grapes, got me grapes. 2 grapes in, Kalina, that's the one I bought originally. And then John Murphy sent me one of his grapes, I forget the name of him. I'll ask him. But any new growth, obviously I'm training him up there, then he'll go the length of the, so one green and one red. So any new growth on like that, I don't want it. I'll snap him off, compost him with everything else, because I want that to go straight up. There is grapes on there already, I'll probably take him off as well. But as soon as he starts going across the top, then he can do what he wants. Them two are late fruiting grapes as well. Besides my compost bin, I've got a wormery in here. Let's have a quick perv. I put some new stuff in this yesterday. Oh, see the little baby's working away. But just keep it moist. That's cardboard on the top, just to keep the light out. But I get my extra worms there, and obviously more compost. And there's my shredded paperback paper, ripped up or shredded egg boxes and loo rolls and all. Tea bags, dried. That goes in there. Good activator. Along with spent coffee grounds. And this lot is my eggshells crushed. That's my calcium, all my lime content, and my compost. At the end of there, I've got a goosegog, a green one. He has got goosegogs on, but they'll be going in the raised beds as well. So there's one that in. I've got a red and that in a nice big pot. These were thinned out, the slots, because I want them for exhibition. So I thinned them out to 2 each. And my spares are over there in a tray on top of the, up there. But last year I ate them, but I want to pickle them for our show, which I should have done last year. This don't get much sun, but I noticed like now if the sun was out, the sun's on this lot here, and there's always crap up there, so I've utilised it, cleaned it out, and I've got my runner beans up there. There's 2 growing, I've just sowed another 2, and then another month's time I'll sow another 2, so we'll have beans. Extended period. So there ain't much space that I ain't nicked. Top's coming off him as well, so I've got to revamp that back wall up it in white emulsion. That repels the heat and the light back onto the plants. So I've been getting there slowly, but I should still compost. So I'll be doing more fruit and more gladies now, than because I've always been a veg man. Veg, middle's chipping off. It's easier. Plus, if I take the tops off all them, nature will water them. I ain't got a. Well, it's easier for me. And that's about it, troops. We can do another update, a couple of months or something, just to show how everything's going on. So, hope you've enjoyed it. Ta-ra a bit.